Welcome to the main stage with Boombox Music Talk.
So this is where, as a young kid, I saw the importance of a producer.
Yeah, right.
It's just my opinion, but I think that some of the best producers are the more subtle guys, you know. And I mean, you have guys like Ross Robinson. He's just an incredible producer, and he's really, really involved in things, you know, he's bringing out passion. But it's all like perspective type stuff, or like, okay, run around the block 3 times, come back, now sing that part.
Welcome to Boombox Music Talk. I'm Mark, and today on the main stage, we have a stellar guitarist and songwriter, someone who probably unknowingly influenced my own music career, the quintessential picture of Dorian Gray, more on that in a minute, the California kid, the man I thought was from another country when I was little, former guitarist for Joey C. Jones, current guitarist for Marquis of Vaudeville, none other than Antonio Brazil. Welcome to the show, bud. Yeah, I'm really glad you're here.
It's great to be here.
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Many years.
We were talking in the green room a minute ago that time doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's like, yeah, we saw each other a couple weeks ago, right? No, I think that was like
2 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, like at Kirk show or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
Maybe about a year ago. I don't know, but. Before that, it had been a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long while. But,
I think the last time before that was you were playing, I was living in Frisco, and you were playing at the Frisco bar.
Yeah, that's right.
And I introduced you to Amorous and everything. So.
Yep, playing with Daniel in Acoustic Chaos.
Say it ain't so, your drug is a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
I haven't talked to Dan. I need to give him a buzz. I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm such a bad friend. I'm always like, I don't know why I don't have any friends, but I'm part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of, I think I blame my family for that a little bit. When you built in brothers and a big family, like.
Yeah, that's your built in friends.
Yeah, you don't seek it out as much. You know what I mean? But. He's a cool dude, And that was a good relationship. As soon as Frisco Bar was the first time we'd ever played together. I don't know about that show, but and it was one of those things, you just, sometimes you hit it off with people and.
Yeah.
This way is a wild side away for me to take you further every day. So be cool.
We had just gotten together like one time, and got jammed. It worked.
Well, there's nothing like, to me, you realize this as you play in bands and play longer, and if you're in a band or if you're in a music, if you find that kindred spirit or somebody that you enjoy playing with, it's worth all the money in the world.
Yeah, right.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love playing, and when I play with Joey. I loved him so much, and I loved playing in his band so much because he was very sweet to me. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
And he always included me in everything. He was just so good to me. And I was a fan of his since I was 17.
Right.
I was a huge fan of him. And so when I started playing with him, I was in heaven, and he was so sweet to me. And same with Marquis. I've been a fan of that band since they started 2009 or something. So
Yeah.
when the first album came out, and I would see pictures on their website, me, big dork in the background, waving at the band. And
That's
now,
awesome.
now playing with them now, it's the same thing. I love them. Very sweet people. They're all nice. Everybody gets along, and that's just what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's funny that you mentioned Marquis of Vaudeville, which I can't wait to dig into some of that stuff. But I brought up the Dorian Gray thing because, dude, you look great. You always look great every time I see you, and I love it. But you're one of those dudes that I'm like, God damn it, like, what are you doing, man? And then I realized that I'm waking up the other night, I wake up in the morning with chocolate on the bed that I'd fallen asleep eating, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe that has something. But
Okay, guys, listen up. Here's the deal. I love candy, sweet, sugary candy. From the second it touches my tongue to the moment it's metabolized by my stomach acid. So naturally, I liked Willy Wonka.
what I thought was funny is, so are you familiar with what Dorian Gray is?
Oh, yeah, the
Okay.
painting, yeah.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
So what's fun about this is that Brett had a cat. My brother Brett, who played drums in Core Factor, for those listeners out there, who played drums in many bands. He had a cat named Dorian as well. But just as a side note, but in that story, the person, Dorian's friend who painted it, was named Brazil Hallward.
I did not know that, dude.
It's with an S, but still.
That's the Portuguese spelling.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. And of course, for people who don't know the story of what this is, he has this person paint this picture. He makes a deal with the devil, sells his soul to always remain beautiful, but the picture's got to stay intact, right? Yeah. So he won't age.
Yep.
So I feel like that's you a lot. But then what's even funnier is, now that you're playing with Marquis of Vaudeville, this is a very gothic kind of story. And what I didn't know when I was looking into this, because I wanted to make this joke, is that there was several people, like Oscar Wilde, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who did the Sherlock stuff, a couple other people who this editor was meeting with to produce, go out and do a magazine of, short stories, right? Or whatever.
The Penny Dreadful stuff, right?
Yeah. And so when he signs it, Oscar Wilde takes forever to do his, but Sir Arthur Conan Doyle does his really quickly, and he submits it, and the name of it is The Sign of the Four.
Live like you're dying, 'cause you are. Live like you're dying, 'cause you are. The future is not so very far. Just keep yourself hungry, focus on me. Live like you're dying, 'cause you are.
And your
wow.
band, Foursidecircle, I was like, holy shit. I was just going to make a joke about you being beautiful. I'm like, this really does make sense, man, which was a really fun time. Like, I look back at that time, what was that, early 2000s when
Foursidecircle.
Yeah, you were playing in Foursidecircle. Brett and I were playing and Jesse playing in Core Factor. And, man, it was a really fun time.
Well, the music scene in Dallas was astoundingly great.
Yeah.
If you think about it, in the early 2000s in Dallas, we had, you pay $8 in Deep Ellum, you go to 8 clubs, you see 8 great bands all the time. That's the time of Drowning Pool and Jive and Slow Roosevelt and, band after band after band after band.
I'm tearing away. Pieces are falling, I can't seem to make them stay. You run away. Faster and faster, you can't seem to get away. Bright!
You could go down on any Friday night and go to any club and you would see some astounding music.
Element 80, Born
Element
for
80,
Sue.
yeah.
Like, it just, I know. It was
There was
great.
like 5-6 years that there was just the amount of bands that came out that are fantastic. And it shows now, like, Element 80 just put a new record out, you know?
Yeah.
And Flicker Stick just did a big reunion
Flicker
show.
Stick, I forgot about
They were
them.
huge, you know? And they did that Band on the Run thing with VH1. That was in 2001.
Totally forgot about that.
So Flicker
That's what's
Stick-
funny about doing this.
Yeah. So Flicker Stick, they have a reunion tour doing, and they're doing a new record and an Element 80, and they're doing all these DFW vinyl releases. So that band, I don't know if you ever heard this band. It's a great band called Hover. And Hover, they put out a 5-song EP, and the drummer was with the Nixons, and he is now with, what's that band? The guy from South Africa that sings, you know what I'm talking about? It was a 3-piece band that they have a ton of, I can't believe I can't. The guy dated the girl from Evanescence for a while and stuff. Anyway.
Gosh, I can't.
You know what I'm talking about?
They had this song that was like, you know, yeah.
So the guy in Hover, the drummer for Hover, plays with him now, still to this day. And I might have to look it up on my phone to find the name of the band. Anyway, the Hover just released a DFW album of their only EP that they put out. And it was all at that same time. Astoundingly great music.
Folding over in the floor, I get control. I am sober. Somehow I feel wasted low. Took this.
They're worth a listen to check out. You can find their stuff on YouTube. And they only were together for this really short time. And when I was singing with Foursidecircle, we did I think it was the Fort Worth Art Music Festival or something. And we opened for Hover there.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just band after band after band after band. At the time that we were all playing, I was doing Foursidecircle and you were doing.
Yeah.
It was just amazing music.
Yeah. And even outside of our inner circle, just a great time for music in general.
Totally.
Is that what he tells you at your little inner circle meetings?
In terms of just, especially rock music, like, there's these few great times when you look over the last 4 decades, and that was one of those times where it was just like people tap. Because I always kind of joke, it's almost like, this is simplifying it, of course, but if you look at maybe like the 60s was kind of a time of exploration.
I am he as you are me, and we are all together. See how they run like pigs from a gun, see how they fly. I'm crying.
Obviously because they're doing tons of drugs and just like, what can we do with this stuff, Now, I feel like the 70s was kind of a time of the groove time, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I was joking with Stacy about this, like people in the 70s, like bassists were doing licks and runs like guitarists did in the 80s, and just such a cool time for groove back then. You get to the 80s, obviously you get the shredders, right, that come out. '90s, definitely a vocal time. You have such beautiful vocalists. When you get to the 2000s, it was definitely kind of like all right, we've been doing all these different things for all these years, kind of specializing and figuring out what the hell can we do with all these things. Now let's put it all together and just try to concentrate on writing good songs.
If I could change, I would. Take up the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. If I could take all the shame to the grave, I would. If I could change, I would. Take up the pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the blame, I would. I would take all my shame to the grave. It's easier to run, replacing this pain with something wrong. It's so much easier to go than face all this pain. You're all alone.
That was the magic to me.
And it was I think it was, if you think about it, that was kind of the beginning of Napster too, right? The early
That's true.
2000s. So, and sharing music and all that stuff. So that was kind of almost like in this weird last hurrah of the music business the way it was at that time. So, now everything's changed with streaming and it is what it is. But, from a nostalgic point of view, I would like, especially at that time, early 2000s, I'd loved going to Virgin Music, and because there was just so much new music to explore, and they had walls and walls and stuff if you just kind of find. And there's something to be said about picking up a CD and opening it up and see what's in it and reading the liner notes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I loved that part of it.
Yeah.
Me too. In that time. And I see that as the last hurrah of the CD world music
Totally
business,
was.
and then now it's a totally different thing. Except for now vinyl's back in.
Yeah.
And vinyl outsold CDs last year,
Really?
which is a bizarre thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But it's a tangible thing you can hold now.
Yeah.
I remember as a little kid, the very first record I got was a Kiss record. And Kiss always threw everything in the kitchen sink into their albums, right? So you got the album, you got this beautiful artwork on the outside. You'd open up the jacket and pull out the jacket, and then they would have like a Kiss Army card and trading cards and all this kind of stuff. And it was just an event to kind of go through and hold all this stuff and read,
Yeah.
And now that's kind of coming back into it with vinyl, because you have this big square vinyl thing to look at. So.
Yeah, you want something it's a tangible representation of that thing, because now we've gotten rid of so many, so much stuff. It's all ethereal that I think there's a clamoring for that a little bit. I still wish it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I would love to buy even more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it, but I'm very selective with what Yeah,
it's expensive.
Yeah. But there is something, my daughter has gotten into that recently, getting into the vinyl thing, and it's cool to watch them kind of
discover the stuff that you're.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fun.